So, yeah, as you guys said.
Thanks, Doug. Yes, Paul.
So we're going to go over some things to look for in the OTAs for the NFC teams. So we'll go a little bit of alphabetical order. We'll start with the Cardinals. One thing to watch for their OTAs is what cornerback Will Johnson looks like.
I leave this to Rico. This is the friends and family plan. This guy loves Will Johnson and all related families. So here's Rico.
You know what, Paul? If you're the Cardinals, he's a long-term investment for you. Probably going to make sure he's completely healthy. I'm not going to work him that hard in the OTAs until he gets closer and closer to the season. Now, he is a guy that he's going to play in the preseason games because I need to see you up against live talent, but I'm probably going to work you in slowly and wait until training camp happens to really kick it in gear for him.
How bad is he injured, by the way, Rico? Because I don't believe him when he says he's fine and he fell that far in the draft.
I don't know. And that's just it. I mean, it's just, I thought he was just kind of opting out a la, the Bosa. I don't need to play this. I'm looking forward to the NFL. But then he re-injured himself, and that's why he fell. If I'm Arizona, I bring him in training camp and really work him hard and tell him, you're playing half the preseason games, like it or not, this year. I need to see what you can do.
Look, the knee issue's murky. It got flagged by a lot of teams. It's why he fell. Will it affect him now? Probably not. Will it eventually? Yes. I think it's very similar to like Nakobe Dean. Yeah. When these guys come out and you get, or remember Miles Jack when he came out and he had this degenerative knee thing. I don't know that that's what Will has. The point is, at some point, it's going to be a thing. That's how this works. I don't think teams passed on a kid who was a top 10 corner if it wasn't real. So go ahead, Paul. Sorry.
Well, no, it's fine. Next one's the Falcons, Atlanta Falcons. Can quarterback Michael Penix show that there's no reason for Atlanta to worry about moving on from Kirk Cousins?
Here, I'm Rico
Beard.
Me now? Yeah, I'm Rico. Yes. The guy's good.
Yeah.
And he's going to be fine. And I'm just happy I never have to see him face Michigan State again because he ripped us up 17 times.
And he's got all the weapons around him. So if it does not work out, it is all on him.
Yes, but it will. I think.
Maybe.
Carolina Panthers, how quickly Bryce Young can gel with Teteroa McMillan.
Yeah, look, ultimately that's going to be the practice reps. That's going to be the throwing sessions. But Bryce Young looked good towards the end of last year. And Dave Canales, a quarterback whisperer. He got Baker Mayfield launched in Tampa.
See, what you can't have, though, is what happened with the Cardinals last year with Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr.
They didn't get along.
Where it was like, okay, have you guys practiced at all in the offseason? Because he was like, I'm throwing it to anybody but him. Like he owed him money or something. So, yes. If you're Bryce Young, he is your future. He would be moving in with me. Like we would be in the backyard in the middle of the night with lights out there practicing and getting reps in.
Next on the list is a team that the Lions are very familiar with, the Chicago Bears. How quickly Caleb Williams can adjust to Ben Johnson's offensive system.
I'm fine with this being the headline, but I think it's overblown. Because Ben Johnson is going to tailor this thing to Caleb, just like he tailored it to Jared Goff. And the basis of it is going to be a running game. That's what it is. We're not curing cancer. And I know the morning show think that Ben Johnson is, his brain has turned into a pumpkin. This is a very smart guy. And Caleb had a better rookie year than anyone in this town is willing to give him credit for.
No, I think running game along with play action, which is why they took the tight end, like that's going to be the recipe for success. And then as the season progresses, I think that's when you're going to take your deep shots to your wide receivers. But I agree with Mike. We're going to run the ball. We're going to do play action. Caleb, maybe you do, the naked bootleg. And then as you get it, then we'll start throwing the deep balls to Odunze and more in the other wide receivers.
Next up is the Dallas Cowboys. The one thing to watch is what will their secondary look like?
Hot trash? Is that on the multiple choice?
Yeah, you can put it in there.
I don't. And again, reports this week that they may not want to even bother with Trayvon Diggs moving forward. Everything Cowboys is in flux to me. It all feels weird. I don't know what Jerry. Well, obviously he's enjoyed himself at the bar this week, and if you saw those photos.
Oh, I did not.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Jerry. Let's leave that part alone.
Okay.
The point is, I'm out on all of it. I think it's going to be a mess.
Well, the whole offseason started off weird when you hire a coach as a Friday night news dump.
Correct.
Next on the list, we'll skip the Lions. The Green Bay Packers. Who comes out as the number one wide receiver in that wide receivers room?
God, that's a great question that I sure as hell don't have an answer to, brother. I mean, look, I love the kid they got in the draft in Savion Williams, the kid from TCU. Physical freak, elite RAS score type guy. Wouldn't shock me if it ended up being him because I'm with Rico. Christian Watkins, he's done.
Didn't they get Golden too?
Yeah, Matthew Golden.
But again, that's a trinket guy to me.
Yeah, either that or they go the route of, do you just want that like possession Amon-Ra receiver? And I know a lot of Lions fans get mad when I call him that, but he's a great possession receiver. He moves the chains. Then that would be Reed.
I love how that's an insult.
Right.
The guy catches 125 balls, 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, tough as nails. And oh, yeah, that's an insult. Well, newsflash, he's not Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. So maybe Reed, because he's that guy that just kind of like their Amon-Ra. But I don't know if they have, like, because, yeah, Christian can't stay healthy. So I can't count on him at all.
Well, yeah, and it seems like Jordan Love also has a really good connection with Romeo Doubs as well. So it's he can only throw it to so many guys.
That may actually be the strength of the Packers passing game, is that they don't have the number one guy, so you can't double up one person. And it leaves Love to kind of pick the poison. Okay, you want to go after Romeo Doubs? I'll throw it over here.
Next up is the Vikings and how quarterback J.J. McCarthy looks.
This is my number one offseason question. Like, of the things I'm fascinated to see in the NFL, it's number one with a bullet. That's a Super Bowl roster. They spent a ton of money this offseason. Why? Their quarterback gets paid in slices of cheese. If McCarthy's good, the Vikings are going to be a distinct problem. Mm-hmm. But it's all on him. So this is like my obsession. I guess it's almost like what's going on in Atlanta, because all the toys are there. And if the quarterback works, man, you're going to be good for the next 4 or 5 years because you're not paying them that much money. But if it doesn't, because the thing is, he's going to have to come out there and win like 11, 12 games, because people are going to be comparing him like, well, Darnold won 14. And even though they didn't do anything in the playoffs, he still won 14 games with this assembly of people. They expect the same from him. Oh, boy. Okay, I see Jerry now.
Next up is the New Orleans Saints, and who will take control of that quarterback competition?
Who cares? That's my official answer. It'll have to be Tyler Shuck. The guy's 1,000.
I'm thinking
he's 30.
He's older than all their quarterbacks on their roster already.
That's why it has to be his job. Clock's ticking.
I was about to say, I think that they hand it off to Spencer Rattler and say,
then why'd you take a 27-year-old quarterback?
Because he's technically not ready yet. It's Rattler's job until either you keep it or Shuck takes it from you.
You need to be drug tested. Tyler Shuck. It's his gig.
Okay.
And speaking of quarterback competitions, your team, Mike, the New York Giants.
That's football today.
How will these snaps be distributed during the OTAs?
No idea. It's a clown car on fire. Look, Paul, here's my viewpoint on it. If you let these two goofballs and Dayball and Shane draft a kid, you know it's not going to be a good year regardless, right? Meaning you're essentially giving them a 1-year extension. So if that's the case, if Jackson Dart is remotely ready, you play him and you live with it. Otherwise, why did you let Dead Men Walking shop for tomorrow night's dinner? That's how I view it. Russell Wilson is a weirdo. Jameis, forget about it. So for me, you draft quarterback, you play quarterback.
What you said makes sense, Mike, but it's not going to happen.
Great.
No, because this is one where you got to wait. You can't just throw him out to the wolves. If anything, I don't know when the Giants buy, but maybe that's where you make the handoff. But I think this is Wilson's job to lose. And if he doesn't get it done, if you're sitting there with a losing record, then yeah, you move over to Jackson Dart.
All right, week 2 when we're 0-1. That's football today. We're up against it. Got to roll.